How we doing, YouTube? Steve here. Oh, it is Thursday morning when this thing uploads. Wednesday night when I'm recording it. Sitting up here, Mark. I'm waiting for my trailer to get here. Got me thinking. This is one of the reasons why I want to get out of ARCA in particular, but dry van especially, as much as I can anyway. I mean, I'll run JB Hunt freight or dry van for if it pays really good. I mean, I'll run it if it pays really good and if I can get something set up on my own. But there's so much sitting around. You spend so much time in the truck where you're not being productive, really. I mean, I do my YouTube videos and stuff like that, but you know, you just, like I said, no, I'm waiting. I'm gonna spend how many hours here waiting for this goofy trailer to get here that you never get compensated for this. I guess that's the point of it. You spend so much time not getting paid that it just, driving is a challenging thing sometimes. I've made a lot of money with dry van. I'm not complaining about it, and I've made a fair bit of money at ARCA. I said I've been here. I'll do a video about ARCA when I'm finally done with them, but I've been here 3.5 years almost, not quite, and I've made over maybe 400,000 from them over that time frame. Granted, part of that time was when the freight was really good, and then but I was paying big lease payments for those, or rental payments for those trucks, and they made a lot more money from me than I made from them. I can tell you that for sure. But that's one of the reasons I'm really looking forward to the hopper business. The hopper business is, there's some interesting things. There's some good things about the hopper business, and there's some not so good things about it. The first not so good thing is it probably won't pay as well as a dry van. It will pay more by the mile than dry van, but you will run less miles. The other thing about hopper is you're generally heavy. Let me rephrase that. Almost always heavy or empty. So you're either way heavy, costing a lot of money for fuel, or driving around not making a dime, costing money in fuel. That's not good. The other downside of the hopper world, this is a little bit true of all bulk commodity, but I would say maybe a little more so with hopper than with dump work. I don't know about pneumatic, and I don't know much about tanker. My tanker experiences was all local, direct to customer, farmer kind of stuff, so I don't know a lot about that world. But the hopper world generally works from 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning till 3, 4, maybe 5 o'clock at night. In the busy season, the fall, they will, maybe those hours will get stretched a little bit on the end. Maybe they'll receive until a little bit later. But generally, there's a pretty short window in the middle of the day there where you have to get your deliveries and receiving done, or shipping and receiving done. On the shipping side, the good thing is usually you don't have to wait very long to get loaded. Sometimes on the receiving side, if there's a line, you can get hung up a little bit. Now, the flip side of that, though, is very rarely do you have a late night appointment. There's one place I'm going to go to, I think they do have appointments, but other than that, you almost never have an appointment. And it's generally in the country, or not in the bad, hard to get to parts of town. you're dealing with people from the ag world, so rarely will you get into a situation where you're sitting at a dock somewhere and nobody's working. That just doesn't happen. I'm not saying there won't be a line. I'm not saying there isn't going to be delays, but generally they stay right at it. Working. They're workers, so you don't have that issue. The good thing is, being with those short hours, you don't have the late appointments. I guess I already said, but I'm going to say that hoppers are probably picked on a little bit less than other forms of trucking. They can't tell the difference between farmers and over-the-road drivers, and they usually don't beat up on farmers too bad. I mean, that's assuming, your truck looks good, your lights are working, and you're not overweight. They're generally not going to beat you up too bad. The other nice thing about the freight that I'm probably going to haul, or about hopper bottom freight, the rate being a little bit better, is that you will run less miles. So you don't have so much wear and tear on your truck. Trailers are a lot more expensive than the dry van. You're kind of limited on what you can haul. I mean, it's got to be a bulk commodity, and it's going to unload out of the belly of the trailer, so they got to have a way to do that. So you're a lot more limited on what you can wear and what you can do. I think there probably is a market to run longer freight, which probably will be the way to maximize the profitability of it. Even in this market, hopper bottom freight is still over $3 a mile. A fair bit over, not like 4, but over 3, 325, 350, something like that. Which at first blush, oh, that's pretty good, really good. Well, the problem is, a lot of times you might be coming back empty, so you got to divide that by 2, which now puts it right back into the dry van world, and you're not running as many miles. So that's why it gets kind of tricky on if it pays more or pays less. Now, where hopper bottom freight can get good is if you can create that loop of a little bit longer miles and a backhaul. Now you're getting somewhere. Now you got the nice Peterbilt with all the lights on it that you see going up down the highway. And you say, what, these hoppers got all these pretty trucks and all these flashy chicken lights on them? Well, that's probably why, because they've created a good loop for themselves where they're getting good freight, good rate on the freight, and they don't particularly care that truck costs a little bit more in fuel. So they'll get them a pretty Peterbilt and put a lot of chicken lights on it because they're making good money. So ultimately, that's the secret, is to try to get that loop. The other nice thing about the ag world is just the people you meet. Just down-to-earth, regular old hard-working folks, just like us truck drivers generally are. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really focused on that. Like I said, I'm going to do a little JB hump freight maybe, but I'm primarily going to be focusing on this hopper. And I don't really know, it says 9:20 here already. I don't really know that I'm going to look to add on any drivers. I'm old enough. I think I'm just going to finish up what I have. I get this truck paid for, another truck and a hopper, and I'll make more money than I need to spend. So that's the plan. So God bless everybody, and we will talk again soon.